super interesting. We have Ian Fox on the left, Nick Bez on the right. Ian Fox from Starboard, and Nick Bez, who has been very helpful with me with the Wave Rally event with surveys, which is a whole other story. I'm here in Melbourne, and I have met these two guys at Parkdale Yacht Club right here. And usually when you come to a yacht club, if you get into the shed, it's usually full of dinghies and sabos or lasers or whatever they're called. But this club is very unique because I walked in here and, well, first of all, there's a clue right here. We've got a windsurf board. But if we look this way, it's looking like an LT factory. And then over this side, we've got even more boards, a yacht club that has heavily embraced the LT windsurfer, which is extremely unique. And I'm led to believe, I guess, the example for any yacht club in Australia. So without further ado, Ian and Nick. Nick, you were just talking a little bit about how it came to be.
Well, look, Parkdale's supported windsurfing for probably 40 years or so. Originally on their plastic one designs. The club's been really innovative over a number of years, and there was a big event back in the 90s and early 2000s called the Blue Diamond, which got a couple hundred people at it and was kind of the prestige event on longboards going around in Victoria. But the class here this has been the home of the Windsurfer one design, and with the LTs going back about 2018 when they kicked off, just massive resurgence because the board is really, really fun. Fits a yacht club environment fantastic because we've got kids coming through, we've got adults who want to sail with their kids and so on. So yeah, it's really been a really big catalyst for this club. It's by far the biggest class now. We've kind of overtaken the boats. But for a club environment, it's fantastic because it keeps the family together. So we've got kids sailing opties or minnows, put them through the learn to windsurf, and then some of them go on to the LTs, some go on to winging, some go on to wakeboarding, slalom and so on. We don't really care, just as long as they stick on the water. So yeah, it's been a really good thing. We've got the 50th anniversary of the windsurfer class next year in Australia, and the national championships will be here at Parkdale. So we're expecting 200 racing at that. So PVB, come down and do your thing, mate.
Nick was the previous president of the LT class in Australia. So, you know, apparently you've been extremely important for helping getting all this going, right? So well done for that,
thanks.
mate.
We've got about 350 class members in Australia. So we've got really big fleets all over the place now. So we've got really big fleet up in New South Wales at a couple of clubs, Toronto Sailing Club and Balmoral. Up in Queensland, we've got the Nationals this year just coming up, so we had to move them from South Australia, unfortunately, with the algae and stuff. So that's at Yeppoon in a couple of weeks. We'll get excuse me, about 120 racing up there. Massive fleet in WA, as you know, Paul, and you saw the Worlds back there a couple of years ago. So
cool.
Class is going well, and you know the really nice thing is we've got multi-generational things happening. So we've got kids sailing with their families. We've got anything from Olympic medalists like Lars in the class, right down to people who are just starting out, and we've got a range of options with weight divisions. Our cruiser class, which lets people come in and taste racing for the first time in a kind of more non-competitive environment, right through to kids who are doing it, and then they'll come and do your wave rally with you. So you've met Hamish and Will and some of the crew from here who started out sailing on Wallies and have now progressed. So that's what it's all about, just keeping it together. And I guess the big thing for us here is just community. So we're stoked. I'm stoked. My little guy's 11. He's learning to windsurf now, but he's also doing the sailing program as well. And we've got a bunch of kids coming through who'll do that. So this club's got Learn to Windsurf program every Sunday, and we put through about 30 full-time kind of students over the course of a season. And ours aren't just a couple of hours. It's, by the time they're finished, they're very, very competent, can get around. So yeah, we're stoked about that. But the big thing for us is that they all become members and they all become part of this cool community about being on the water. So
the importance of what Nick and the Parkdale Club have achieved with LT is that it's a really important introduction and feeder class for the sport going forward. And it's always been that way. I mean, well before the LT arrived, it was just Wally One Designs, whatever we called them back in the day. The family spirit, the camaraderie, the involvement, the achievability of people being able to access windsurfing in this sort of environment for the last, well, Nick said 40, and I think it's more than 40 years, has been really fundamental to the growth and the sustenance of the sport in Victoria, around Melbourne, and even because of the success here, you know, that's flowed on to national success. And in fact, I think it's fair to say, without being too patronising to Nick, that his involvement and support in that LT and previous One Design class has really built the class up all around Australia, not just here in Parkdale.
Oh yeah.
This is probably the glamour end of it, but honestly, the handiwork and the involvement and the dedication that those guys have put into that class over all the last few decades really is showcased all around Australia, and you know that from WA.
No, I can. I mean, I can just tell by looking at this that there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get to this point.
Not just to get it here, but to keep it here.
That's the big thing.
It's just achieving it once is one thing, but keeping it going, generation after generation. Like we're talking 4+ generations of windsurfing, all in this. We've even the club's been rebuilt around, literally
off the back of this.
Around this in the meantime. So we're looking at second generation clubhouse.
Yeah, that's true.
During the same lifetime of the class here in Victoria.
And I think for all yacht clubs, this provides a really viable kind of new, interesting stream of activity, because yacht clubs are struggling around the place. Sailing as a sport is really trying to find its feet in the modern world. For us here at Parkdale, we've still got our boats, our lasers, our minnows, our other classes that sail, but for the LT, it ticks a lot of boxes. It's convenient, it's quick to rig, it's cost effective, it's easy, and we've got really good support. And around that, we've built a community there where we've got, you know, some of the best LT sales in Australia, and, you know, at a world level here, right down to people who are coming through for the first time. And there's just an incredible, you know, amount of support that we can give. But I think for all yacht clubs, this just provides a really good alternative platform that, you know, you can use your sailing skills to jump into this. And we've had a lot of good yachties come here over the journey. The other thing for us with our kids is this provides a platform. So, you know, some of them have gone on to foil, IQ foil, and others. Some of them have gone on to wave boards, slalom boards, whatever. Some of them are winging. But the way we can, and, you know, it's sad to see them go, but I've been 20. I know what it's like. You got to go and do your stuff. But the nice thing for us here is that this is a bit like your family, and, you know, once a year you'll come back and do your nationals, and you'll catch up with everyone, and they all have fun, and they'll try and kick the old fellas' butts, and to a greater or lesser degree they can or they can't, but it doesn't really matter. We all have a good time together, and then off they go, back to uni, back to whatever. So, and then hopefully, you know, in another generation, as Ian said, the cycle kind of continues. But for us here, this does provide a platform for Starboard and other manufacturers through the whiteboard program that the Windsurfer class offers to be able to get involved, but more than that, then to be a feeder into other kinds of windsurfing. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think, Paul, you know, the class ethos for the, One Design, now LT class, was that really their activities in Australia were 50% racing, 50% fun. And then someone turned the lights off. So people get really
Security, hold on.
Start again.
I lost my point.
50% racing, 50%
I reckon
fun.
do it in the dark, Paul.
Yeah.
Pretty good. It's a novelty video.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, the point was basically about the ethos was the word I used for the class here, being 50% racing or 50% sailing and 50% fun. And they've always maintained that. You know, so much of what they do down here relates to windsurfing, but so much of it's also about having a good time. And I think that's the secret that's kept the whole family involvement strong. And the family involvement's what's kept the whole process and the success down here strong. So without that, it would have drifted away like it has in so many other places. And these guys have been able to achieve the opposite, which is to keep everybody sort of engaged at each level, the kids and the parents, and everyone's having a good time and they want to keep coming back.
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon's a good time at Parkdale Yacht Club.
Absolutely, and people sit up on the balcony and watch, and it's a great spectacle. The nice thing about the Wally sails is they're super colourful, so, you know, it presents really, really well. I mean, the other great thing about these boards and why it works in a club environment is that they're long, so you can sail this thing in 3 knots. You can sail it in 30 knots. And, you know, people are like, yeah, no, that you can't sail in 30 knots. Well, I think 28 of them just competed in the Deafy Wind. And
yeah, that was cool to see, wasn't it? I like that.
Pretty rad.
Yeah.
So, you know, the other nice thing here is you can learn a lot of different craft out of this. So course racing, very tactical. We run slalom, which people love. We do marathons and adventure sails and so on, but also freestyle. And so, you know, the new school freestyle stuff, we've seen some of the really good new schools freestylers now jump on wallies and do some stuff. And they're like, that's pretty cool. So at our events, we run each of those disciplines. So there's something for everyone. And yeah, it's kind of cool, but the nice thing is to see two kids, one on the bow, one on the steering, carrying these things down together, just like I used to when I was a kid. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of epic. So yeah, it's cool. So we've I think, you know, as a template, it's a really good thing for yacht clubs to think about, because for us it's just given us a whole new activity stream and a whole bunch of new members, and you know, some really cool vibrancy. And for a volunteer club, which is what we are, having members and having, you know, activity is really kind of important. So.
For anyone out there that is getting inspired by this and goes, oh, yeah, I've got a local yacht club and I could try and start something down there. Maybe can you just give us a quick rundown of what you would suggest the steps to take to either get something going at their local yacht club, including, are these boards, do they belong to the individual sailors? Does it belong to the club? Like, how does it work?
The vast majority of these are sailor individually owned boards. However, the club does have its own boards that people can use, as well as obviously the learning boards as well. Probably best bet is to get in touch with the Windsurfer Class Association. We've got a really kind of well-structured kind of stepping stone
This
process.
is worldwide?
Well, yeah, I mean, there is one worldwide, but certainly in Australia we've kind of taken that on. We've got then state reps in every state who can kind of give a hand, but I think we've got some pretty good frameworks to just make that a pretty simple step. But I mean, the key is to have someone at the club who's passionate about this, who can see kind of the possibilities, to be able to pitch that into the club. The class and Australian Sailing provides a whole range of different support mechanisms for that, but through the local distributor here, there's discounts for clubs and stuff on school boards and on boards that are going to be used by the club. So there's a whole range of things, but yeah, just to get it in touch with the class and to go from there. But we've got a great group of people who can kind of help out and provide guidance and so on. So, for example, Ballarat, which is a local lake up a couple of hours up the road from here, they've now got a fleet, and we as a group went up as a class and supported them, did some demo days and so on, did some demonstration racing and stuff for them, and now they've got a little fleet going up there. Macrae Yacht Club, Western Port Yacht Club, Rye Yacht Club, they've all kind of seen what's happened here, and we try to support that. From our point of view, the more clubs that have got this, the better. It just adds to the vibrancy.
That's amazing.
And so on. So we've got a traveller series where we go around and show this off in Victoria, as they do in WA and other states, just to go to different yacht clubs and bring the fleet. And it's pretty cool when 30 or 40 or 50 people rock up. And like, holy shit, we've got a bit of a takeover here. So, but it's just good fun. And it's kind of different to sailing. It's more what we kind of expect from windsurfing. To Ian's point, this idea of 50% fair racing and 50% social fun is the absolute ethos of what we do. So.
Yeah, no, because the reason I mention globally is because chances are people watching this video, most of them will be actually overseas.
Yeah,
so I'm
sure.
just, so if they're
so the International Windsurfer class also exists. I mean, there's replications of this in various different ways all across Europe. So really strong fleets in Italy, in Spain, in France. The European Championships are just about to happen in Austria. A couple of hundred people show up at that. Right through now into the Americas and stuff. So North America is starting to happen. Putting together just these little grassroots programs all over the place. So yeah, there's definitely a possibility. The lovely thing about this is you can kind of fly in and fly out. There's charter boards at most events. So, you know, we've got a couple of guys from Parkdale over in Europe at the moment, and they'll just charter a board for a month and he's done the Spanish nationals, the French nationals, and they'll end up at the Europeans in Austria. So
okay,
it's cool.
And just finally, because we could talk for hours on this, but it's I'm assuming one of the attractive things with this is that people get to have some fun, go racing. But after the sailing happens, do you still, do you do something? Is there like a barbecue or food or like how does it work?
Yeah, I don't know if we can get upstairs. I might not have the.
Oh, okay, we can check it out.
But if you come this way,
Yeah, let's have a look.
we've got a full kind of awesome clubhouse up here with a bar and canteen and beautiful deck and stuff. Social's very important. We put on music, invite the community in, and there's a little bit of a view as we go up. There's our control tower thing up there.
It's actually for anyone who doesn't know Melbourne, but this is a huge bay. So if you sail that way, you'll just hit land again. There's an opening to the sea down there, so it's quite a protected.
We've got a lockout.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Unfortunately, but there's a full kind of clubhouse stuff. You can't see much from there. If you go outside, you can film from the outside.
Yeah, no worries.
The deck's unreal. When we have the nationals here, we run the slalom kind of right on the beach. Have got a DJ playing, but we have someone with the microphone and do commentary and stuff, and it's a nice place to sit.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Good little clubhouse, but not massive, but just good for us.
That's perfect. Super impressive to see, and well done for 40 years of getting it to this point. It's pretty crazy.
There's been some families, the Grimshaw family in particular, who's kind of driven this. Paul, Tonya, and so on. Yeah, here's all our.
Maybe an elevator around the corner for the X-Wave. So.
Oh, yeah.
So our Opti rigs, more wallies.
Yeah, actually, that was another thing which I didn't get on the video, but there's in case you're unaware, but there's kind of like a beginner wally. It's like a smaller.
It's a SC, the school board, which is a bit more new school shape, shorter, more compact, more robust material, so wider, more like the kind of modern learning boards which we run through. There's some of the club LTs under there as well. So change rooms and stuff in there.
It's very comfortable, mate. It's got everything you need.
Good. It's all good.
It's amazing. Well, hopefully, this video is going to inspire some people to follow in your footsteps here, mate. And
well, you came and saw us at the Windsurfer Worlds in Perth, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, that was an eye opener. Yeah, I hadn't.
That was the first time we met, I think. So I think that was a bit of a mind blower for you.
Yeah, well, funnily enough, the only other time I've seen anything similar to that was, I think it was around 1984. I was 7 years old, and my dad went in a windsurfer race in Manly on Sydney Harbour. And I remember just seeing hundreds of sails. And when I turned up in Perth, I was having deja vu with all that. It was, it was so cool.
We've got around here, we've got some more boards, some of our little rescue boats for various bits and pieces. We've got windsurfer rigs, more windsurfer rigs. These are all our learning setup up there. We've got some inflatable boards for the kids. We've got some inflatable rigs for the real little kids. So we're getting our 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds out of the Optis jumping on just to feel it.
You got Bendigo Bank as a...
Bendigo Bank. I know they're big supporters of you.
Oh, they're
big supporters of us.
Lurking in the corner is the original polyethylene one.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the one that started it all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What are they, 21 kilos versus 15? Is that what it is?
They don't get any lighter, I'm telling you. They're about 22.
Oh, 22.
These things are down to 15, I guess. Makes a big difference. So.
And it has the, obviously they're epoxy boards, you know, after being used in this fashion, have they been holding up well?
Yeah, really well. Yeah? I've got one of the first gen boards, my club racing boards over there, and it's, that thing's 2019 board, it's still, where is it? It's still in reasonable shape. Few dings, quite a lot of ding stick. Not a lot of sandpaper, but it's all right. Yeah. But Foxy was pointing out, usually the EVA goes, but it's held up pretty well. This is just wax along the rails, just for a bit of upwind, bit of rail control upwind. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
They have held up really well. The really interesting thing is the used board market is super strong. for these. They're
right,
like almost impossible to get secondhand, and when they come up, they get
Snapped
snapped
up.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think all up now they're around 3,700 Aussie dollars, and there's not a lot of else you can get, whether it be board or boat to go sailing like that. So, and the other nice thing here is you've got storage. Obviously, you're rigged up and you're on the water in 10 minutes. So it's pretty cool, man.
Yep. No, fantastic. Thanks so much for showing me, and also just showing everyone what's going on here. It's like I said, this is a pretty amazing example of what could be done. And like, there's so many yacht. I mean, do you know how many yacht clubs there are even in Australia?
Hundreds and hundreds.
There's hundreds, right?
Hundreds and hundreds. Yep.
So I mean, you think about the potential worldwide. That even if you just got a small slice of, even if you had a fifth of these boards in a lot of,
it's just about getting together with your mates or your family, and kind of just getting on the water. You don't even have to race. I mean, some of the crew here don't race. They just socialise, sail around, hang out on the beach, do whatever. And I think that's kind of the other thing for the yacht clubs to get their mind around is, not everyone does want to race. And so being able to provide a safe community environment where people can just hang out, do their thing, learn from other people is kind of really, really interesting thing. I think yacht clubs have kind of struggled because it's just about racing. The kids, from when they kind of get through junior sailing, then they're on the pathway, and that pathway doesn't kind of necessarily motivate everyone. And part of the dropout in sailing, I think, is because we haven't kind of thought laterally. This just provides another way for kids to stay on the water. And if the kids do want to do the pathway in windsurfing, it absolutely exists. Foxy with Starboard and IQ, they can go on and start foiling, do the IQ Youth, then onto the IQ Senior, and we've obviously having a bit of a golden patch with the IQ, with Gray and with Arthur's support here, and there's a great bunch of kids coming up through the ranks here and globally, and the IQ foil is a massive success internationally as well. So, and Foxy can talk to that more than I can, but there's no reason why you can't start your journey here and end up there, or you end up winging, or you go shortboarding. Doesn't really matter.
Anything but kiting. Yeah. So.
I didn't say that at all.
No, it's cool. It's cool. It's awesome. No, thanks so much, guys. It's been very educational. So appreciate it all.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming to Melbourne. What's been your highlight so far on your little road trip?
The highlights. Just walking around. I like walking on the streets of Melbourne, and a lot of good cafes. The food. There's definitely a lot more options than Geraldton.
All right.
It's been good.
We'll walk you up. You can come to one of the local coffee vans up the road and sit on the cliff, and we can
Finish the interview up there.
That's it. Memory.
Oh, they got their coffees. There's the club, and there's the bay. So not a lot of wind today. Apparently, it can get pretty windy and choppy there, but a bit of everything. So. Cool. Thanks, guys.